Let's get to decision week. As the Eagles have to make a big decision on A.J. Brown. And, this will probably manifest in either March or April with free agency, which is now just 5 weeks away, and the NFL draft, which is, basically 2 months away. And there's of course, a good chance that A.J. Brown won't be an Eagle this upcoming season. But today at 215-592-9494 on Decision Week, as each day we bear down on a different Eagles topic, we ask you this question. Do you want A.J. Brown back on the Eagles next season? Yes or no? Why or why not? And put another way, the heart of the question really is, do you trust A.J. Brown? Because, of course, John, in an ideal world, everybody's going to want A.J. on the Eagles because he's one of the most talented offensive players we've seen. And, the argument's going to be, get him happy and then roll with him again. By the way, not just for a year, but for 3 more years. But that's not the heart of the matter. The heart of the matter is whether you trust that you can get him happy to trust him. Jon Ritchie, I turn to you. And everyone today at 215-592-9494. Jon Ritchie, do you want A.J. Brown back on the Eagles next season?
I've oscillated on this, and it's really difficult for me to look at a guy who I watched not try this year and say, I want him to come back and play for my team. But I do. Okay. And I have to try to trust A.J. Brown because he gives us the best possible team. 2004, we would not have had a chance to go to the Super Bowl were T.O. not on our team. I don't want that same experience to be I don't want that concept to be suffered by this team who could be good enough with A.J., with this new staff, with this new offense.
They have won with an unhappy A.J. before.
We've seen it work. We've seen this
He
work.
wasn't exactly happy in 24.
I want A.J. because that gives us our best team, and I feel like I'm going to have to trust him, and I'm willing to bet that his talent will be more completely utilized this year with the new offensive coordinating, and that will leave him in a better place. I think last season, a big part of what was going on, and not just the inexplicable rift between him and his former best friend, our quarterback, that part, they got to figure out a way to fix that. But what we saw last year was A.J. just gradually fading out, A.J. not participating, A.J. not running full force on go routes down the field, then A.J. not blocking the way he should.
Right.
We can't have that A.J., period. The key factor here is we need the A.J. who tries, but I think that Josh Grizzard and Sean Mannion can help bring that out of him. Now, this is the CEO head coach's job as well. This is, hey, Nick, you must get the best from your players. That is what we're asking of you. But it's not a perfect world, and I want him. I want A.J. here because he can be incredible in all caps.
Right.
No doubt about it when he's properly motivated.
You're right.
And I believe Sean Mannion can help properly motivate him. And I don't know what's going on with Jalen and his former best friend, but it really is time to grow up. This is a man's game. Let's put behind our petulant, childish, whatever this is that you got going on. You gotta somehow figure out a way to make it work. Not just for you, Jalen. We've heard time and time again, you'll do whatever it takes to win. Last year, I questioned that. Last year, I wondered if you would do whatever it takes to win. Running, using your legs more. That would have helped us win. Do whatever it takes to win here. Smooth it over with your former best friend, the guy who's, godfather. Somehow they're godfathering one another's families. You can fix this. It's not impossible to fix the emotional part. I know it's possible to fix the football part. The football part will be better this year. I don't think it can possibly be worse and less complete offensively. I think that helps A.J. His frustration is lessened because the offense is more complete. The offense can give him a chance to do amazing things. That's what he wanted to do last year, contribute more to the wins. They'll give him that opportunity. Believe me, the first 15 with Sean Mannion, you're going to have 5 of them that he's the number one read, 5 plays out of 15 where he's the number one read. He'll probably get at 3 of those. You won't have these games where we start the second half and he's petulant on the sideline because he hasn't caught a ball yet. It is you do kind of have to manage the personalities. Last year, that fell by the wayside, despite the fact that we have a CEO head coach.
Yep.
He needs to do a better job. AJ needs to do a better job. Jalen needs to do a better job, not just with the football, but with the interpersonal stuff, too. So, that intelligence is important.
I am curious, obviously, at 215-592-9494, where you stand. Do you want AJ back? And again, it's not as simple as, well, of course I do because he's great. You got to dig a little deeper because it really does go to the issue of whether you trust him. And I will say this, I don't. I don't trust him. And it pains me to say because he's one of the great offensive players I've ever seen. He's one of the 5 or 6 best offensive forces I have ever seen the Eagles have. He's clearly one of the 3 best wide receivers I've seen the Eagles in my lifetime. I'm too young for Carmichael, but, Quick, T.O., and A.J., my top 3. Irving Fryer, probably 4. Some combination of Fred.
Well, Devontae's up there, too.
Devontae's up there. Yep, Devontae's up there. And then you get to Fred Barnett and you get to Irving Fryer, and that's your group. But, A.J., he's really high up there, guys. But
AJ is up there with T.O. in terms of physical ability.
I'm aware. But
and you know what? Nick talked about watering the flowers.
Yep.
Now that we're in the offseason, it's time to prune the weeds. You got to do the work year round. It's not just during the season.
Yeah, but
now you got to prune the weeds. You got to figure out a way to make that garden hospitable.
So here's one of the conundrums. No, that's the wrong word. Here's one of the problems with the situation. What John was talking about, all reasonable, of thinking that you can get it to work based on changes. None of that manifests with AJ until way after free agency and the draft. Meaning, will it work with AJ in a new offense? Don't know. Won't know in March or April.
But you do have the trade deadline during the season, and you need to be honest. AJ, if you don't get in line, we will have to do something eventually. We want you to be with us.
You're kicking the can.
We believe you can do great things for us and help us win another world championship here in this new offense.
Look,
you will be featured. We will run the ball and throw the ball, and we're going to have a more complex
John, they said
offense.
all that to him the last couple of years.
And they failed miserably. That was a joke last season. That offense was a joke. AJ recognized how just bare minimum and moronic everything was that they were doing. The frustration grew in him. He's trying not to say anything. He's trying to be a leader. By the end of the season, he couldn't contain it any longer. He's out there like, what the hell are we doing?
It was the beginning of this season.
Yeah.
He was doing it weeks 1 through 8 or whatever.
Week 3, he asked for. So it was reported he asked for a trade after week 3. Here's the deal, guys. I don't think A.J. Brown wants to play with Jalen Hurts. Okay? I do not believe A.J. Brown wants to play with Jalen Hurts. And Jalen Hurts is the quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles, at least for 2026. So if I'm Howie Roseman and I need to make an assessment, I'm out on A.J.
Jalen just told us they were in a good place.
It doesn't matter. So I don't trust him. It feels to me, and you run into these situations in sports at times, and life, relationships, dating, working, whatever. There are times where it feels like a situation has
quit.
It feels like a situation has run its course. This situation to me feels like it has run its course. Now, I will say, I am tempted to keep him in largest part because they won a Super Bowl with a not exactly happy AJ in 24. It can be done. We can't throw that out the window and act like it didn't happen.
Every team that has a good wide receiver has a not exactly happy wide receiver.
But this was extreme.
They're always not exactly happy.
This was extreme. This was extreme.
I've seen this at varying levels.
I know you have.
On every team I've ever played on.
Fair.
Now, not with James Thrash and Todd Pinkston.
Sure, because they weren't good enough. Yeah,
right.
But I believe A.J. Brown really hurt the 25 Eagles. I believe that. Like, I believe he sucked life out of the team. Because you got to be team.
I believe that too. And I think it hurt his position within that locker room. I think previously guys talked about, hey, this is one of our leaders. This is a guy we can depend upon. I think they saw how impetuous he got this year, and there are guys who doubt him now.
Look, I just don't trust him. I want to trust him, but I don't.
I want to trust him. And I think you can because the offense will validate that.
Look,
the offense will validate the organization, and he will be much happier because it will be going through him a lot more.